is 9:01 a.m. on August 17th of the year 2021. We are gathering this morning in City Hall, 2 members via Zoom, to hear the testimony and evidence presented to the Board of Review for the City of Fitchburg. At this time, I'd ask that we do a roll call to make sure we have the quorum we need.
Chair Couillard,
Here.
Elton Krim Jr.,
Here.
Erica Ryerson.
Here.
You have a quorum.
And just so I didn't jump the gun here, hopefully we have our fact team videotaping this, so we're online.
That is correct.
Okay. With the roll call out of the way, we do have a quorum. And next thing would be approval of the minutes, draft minutes of our July 22nd meeting. The only thing I noticed is that in one section, when I was talking with the attorney for our first appeal, I mentioned the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. And that was close, but not exactly what I had said. So that was the only thing I saw. Did any of the members see anything in the minutes that you wanted to bring to the clerk's attention?
No, I reviewed them. They look correct to me.
Very good. Eldon, anything you saw?
No, nothing from me.
Okay. If that's the case, then I move that we accept the minutes as prepared, the draft minutes as prepared from the July 22nd meeting of the board.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, it's unanimous. Thank you. Item 4 on our agenda, recommendation for personal property account 15-96613, Lioness Fitness. I don't see any taxpayers here, so I'm assuming we're looking to the assessor for information on this.
Correct.
And I guess since you haven't been sworn in yet, we might as well take care of that right now so that all evidence you present is on the record.
If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And this you do under the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do. Amy Mercer, City Assessor.
If you would please tell us what's going on with Lioness Fitness.
Okay, we received an email from Lioness Fitness. Actually, it went through finance and then came to us, that they actually had moved out of the jurisdiction on January 1 of 2021. And so we're asking the board to remove that, that personal property account from the assessment roll. And I have some documentation for the board.
Thank you.
Please mark this as Assessors Exhibit One. And we'll recognize it as being the first page, a email regarding this Lioness Fitness issue.
May I ask a question?
Certainly.
So if they moved out January 1 of this year, why would we remove them from last year's? Isn't this the 2020 assessment roll?
This is the 2021 assessment roll. So everything is assessed as of January 1 of 2021.
Okay.
They actually moved out of the jurisdiction on August 31st of 2020. So they moved
okay.
out prior to January 1, and due to, this started with finance dealing with some delinquent personal property. So due to that, it came to them, and then they forwarded that information on to me. And so the correspondence is back and forth, including Kim Krieger, who was the owner of Lioness Fitness, And I had stated to her, "Thank you, Kim, for your specific date. Tracy, can you add this account to the August 17th Board of Review agenda to request the board to correct the roll because the personal property is no longer located within our jurisdiction? We will create a packet and include this email correspondence for the board's record. We will request the board to correct the roll by removing the account from the assessment roll and alter the total assessment. Kim, please note that this change is for 2021 assessment. Your business was located within the city as of 1/1 of 2020, so the delinquent tax bill you received is based on what was here as of 1/1 of 2020.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there's there's back and forth, which Mike can see, bringing this to our attention.
So for 2021, there was a doomage assessment.
Correct. It was a doomaged assessment, and it was doomaged at $14,550, and that was doomaged based off of the prior year's assessment.
So that's not the amount that appears on the roll.
Correct.
Well, Wisconsin statutes state the tax liability is as of January 1st of the year. If they were not here on August, if they left Fitchburg on August 31st, they certainly were not, property was not located in Fitchburg on the date of assessment. That being the case, I see no problem with the request by the assessor to remove this assessment from the assessment roll, as we still have that opportunity since the board is in session. Any questions by the members of the board?
None from me.
Okay, I think this is pretty straightforward. That being the case, I would make a motion that we ask the clerk to remove, as defined in the statutes, the assessment for Lioness Fitness, which was located at 5957 McKee Road, Suite 101B. Remove it from the 2021 assessment roll in the amount of $14,550. Do I have a second to that motion? Thank you, Helen.
Second it.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. It is done. Almost. Clerk still has to do the work. Thank you for having a good clerk for us, because when I would do those changes, they might look pretty messy. Okay, that takes care of item 4 on our agenda. Next item is agenda item 5. Review subpoenas and request of waiver for Artisan Village LLC, 2845 Oregon Road, Unit E, parcel 609-012-8605-2. We adjourned our meeting to this date so that you could work with the property owner to get better information, to provide a more accurate assessment. Has that been happening?
Yes, it has. We have worked through a lot of numbers over the last few weeks, received additional information, and we actually are asking the board through a stipulation to alter the assessment to a new value of $9,020,000. I have paperwork here if you would like to see that stipulation. And I'm thinking I should read it all into record, unless the board would like to, but I'll hand this out first. And do I need to be re-sworn in?
Probably, since this is a new case.
Okay, so let's get this one for this one. Stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do. Amy Mercer, City Assessor. So I'll hand a copy of these documents out to you and Tracy. Okay, so I'll read this into record so that the other board members can hear this, and it is on record.
Okay, before you do that, I'd like to ask the clerk to please mark this as Assessors Exhibit One. And this exhibit contains 4 pages. I'd like those lettered alphabetically, so we can identify them. And I'll also, just for the record, let the other members of the board know that this has been reviewed by and signed off by the other 2 parties involved. Everything has been accepted except us at the City of Fitchburg level. So we'll have this read into the record so you can hear the whole document and the numbers. So would you please continue?
Okay, thank you. It starts with the City of Fitchburg, Wisconsin Board of Review. In reason, City of Fitchburg for the 2021 tax year. Property address, 2845 Oregon Road, tax parcel number 0609-012-86052. Stipulation. It is stipulated by and between the City of Fitchburg, the city, and Artisan Village LLC, Artisan Village, as follows. 1. Artisan Village is the owner of that certain real property referenced above and joins in this stipulation relative to its claim for excessive assessment for the 2021 tax year. Number 2. Artisan Village filed a timely objection to its 2021 original assessment initially set as follows for the following tax parcel. Land, $2,550,000. Improvements, $7,314,600. Total, $9,864,600. Number 3, upon review of further information provided by Artisan Village pursuant to subpoena, the city assessor recommends a change to the original assessment to the following as revised assessment. Land, $2,550,000. Improvements, $6,470,000 for a total of $9,020,000. Page 2. Number 4, the revised assessment reflects a reduction in assessment to recognize that as of the January 1, 2021 valuation assessment date, the property had not been operational for a full 12 months. Number 5, the Fitchburg Board of Review has scheduled a hearing on Artisan Village objection on August 17, 2021. 6, Artisan Village desires to continue its objection to the revised assessment. 7, Artisan Village is submitting herewith a request to the Board of Review to waive the valuation hearing on its 2021 objection. 8, the City and Artisan Village hereby agree and jointly request that the City's Board of Review waive the valuation hearing on the objection pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 70.47, paren 8M, paren. 9, neither the city nor Artisan Village shall be required to appear to present testimony before the City Board of Review in connection with the 2021 valuation hearing on the subject property. 10, upon the acceptance of this stipulation by the Board of Review, the Board of Review shall be deemed to have changed the original assessment to the amounts indicated above in paragraph 3 as the revised assessment, without the need to conduct a valuation hearing or to have any further Board of Review proceedings. 11, upon the acceptance of the stipulation, the Board of Review shall be deemed to have approved the parties' joint request to waive the hearing on Artisan Village's objection pursuant to Wisconsin Statutes 70.47, paren 8M, paren, a copy of which is attached hereto as Exhibit A. 12, upon such acceptance by the Board of Review, Artisan Village shall be provided notice of said board approval of the waiver request. Page 3. 13, for all purposes, including Artisan Village's ability to pursue a claim in court action under Wisconsin statutes 74.37 with respect to the 2021 assessment of its property, Artisan Village will be deemed to have fully and timely complied with the procedures for objecting to its assessment, including the exhaustion of its administrative prerequisites under Wisconsin statutes 74.37, paren 4, paren A, paren. 14, pursuant to Wisconsin statute 70.47, paren 8M, paren, Artisan Village shall have up to 60 days from the notice of approval of the hearing waiver to commence an action in circuit court to appeal the 2021 revised assessment under Wisconsin statutes 74.37, paren 3, paren D, paren. Dated August 16th, 2021. Then it is signed by Artisan Village LLC, by Foley and Lardner LLP, 150 East Gilman Street, Suite 5000, Madison, Wisconsin, 53703. It is signed by Eric Hatchell, agent of record. Sorry. Dated August 16th, 2021. City of Fitchburg, by Seibel Law Offices LLC, 11520 North Port Washington Road, Suite 4, Mequon, Wisconsin, 53092. It is signed by Amy Seibel, Amy R. Seibel, attorney for the assessor. And then below it says dated August 17th, 2021, accepted by the Board of Review for the City of Fitchburg by, and it is unsigned by the chairman. The next page is the request for a waiver of the Board of Review hearing. And that is signed by Eric Hatchell. And on here, the revised assessment is listed as $9,020,000. And the property owner's opinion of value is $6,717,000.
Okay, so it appears as if, as we accept this waiver, if we accept this waiver, that we're reducing the assessment by $862,600
Correct,
from the original indicated assessment.
correct.
Based on the request for waiver that I'm seeing, the taxpayer still feels that that amount is above the current value as of January 1st.
Correct. He would like to discuss further with his client before that final decision in 60 days.
Okay.
So we are requesting the board to, based on the additional information, change the assessment to that $9,020,000 based off of, the subpoenaed info. And then in order to maintain their rights and to expedite the process, we're also asking that the board, we're in joint agreement that the waiver be also signed.
I have the paperwork in front of me. It's exactly as Amy read it. As I review it, I don't see any unusual elements of this. The only thing I was questioning is, do we have the agent form for Foley and Lardner to be representing this group on file?
I'll let Tracy respond, but I believe we do.
In the board packet, yeah.
It is page. The last page of your packet in the packet materials.
Okay. So we do have agent authorization, so always want to make sure after going through a hearing last year without having that proper documentation. I see no problem with the information as presented and discussed. Do we have any questions for the assessor before we work or review this in detail to make a determination?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Erica.
So the property, or the documents that I'm seeing show the original assessment as being $660,200, which would mean we're reducing the assessment by 1.6 million. So I'm curious where the 880,000 number came from.
I took the 9.8 million and subtracted the 9.9 million, 20,000, and the difference was 862,600.
I'm guessing my documents must be out of date then, which is fine.
Well,
On the objection form, it is 10,660,
yeah, on the,
200.
originally it was 10,660,220.
Yep, I just pulled my copy out, and I have notes in red on it. That was the value that, and I believe there should have been a corrected version of this objection form, I'm not sure, but the original assessment prior to open book was 10,660,200. During open book, the one of the property owners had corresponded with me and provided additional information at open book, and I made the change during open book to 9,864,600. Then with the subpoenaed information, we are now requesting the board to alter the value to that 9,020,000.
Okay.
So I presume it was probably a timing when they put that in, that they may have filed this prior to receiving our open book change notice. I'm not sure.
So the value currently in the roll is the 9,864,600.
Correct.
Good catch, thank you, Erica. Ellen,
I
anyth-
move
oh, go ahead.
accept I move to correct the roll to the corrected amount of 9,020,000.
Okay. So the motion,
Second.
we have a motion to accept the stipulation and waiver with the adjusted amounts. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. We have accepted the waiver with the stipulation as presented. I will sign it and give the document to our clerk so the proper notices can be prepared and mailed so that the taxpayer can review it and use their rights of appeal after the board is adjourned if they so desire.
Thank you.
That takes us to the next item on our agenda, which is item 6, consider any new business, scheduling of next board, or any other actions as needed. Are there any other actions that need to be taken today?
No, sir, there are not.
The response I have is no, there are not. That's the exact response I was hoping to hear. With that, then, the next item on our agenda is adjournment. So at this point, I would make a motion that we adjourn the 2021 City of Fitchburg Board of Review at 9:24 on the morning of August 17th of the year 2021. Do I have a second to that motion?
Good.
Second? Excuse me, a second? I'll call a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The 2021 City of Fitchburg Board of Review is adjourned, sign it aye.